Hello everyone, let us go for session 8 of module 2 data structures. I am Shilpa B, assistant professor of Department of ISC, Canara Engineering College. So let us define the circular queue. A circular queue, it is a linear data structure in which the operations are performed based on first in first out principle, same as your normal queue, and last position is connected back to the first position to make a circle. This is the difference between the normal queue and the circular queue. The last position will be pointing back to the first position. Now what is the use of circular queue, or why we need circular queue? So in the normal queue, if you consider this particular example, if you have these many elements, front is pointing to this position and rear is pointing to this position. Now when you this is queue full condition. So when you delete the elements, these three elements are got deleted. Front is pointing to this position, but rear is pointing to the last position itself. So the meaning is you cannot insert one more element, because since rear is pointing to the last position, here there is no space, you cannot insert one more element. Even though there is a space in the queue, you cannot insert the element. This is the drawback of normal queue. So in order to avoid this, what we are going to do is, the last position will be pointing back to the front position, so that you can, when you once again increment rear by 1, it will point to this position and you can insert the element over here. Now how can we create the circular queue? So that is same as your normal queue. You are going to define the maximum size, then you are going to write the initial condition. Here we are usually writing front and rear both will be pointing to -1. The initial condition, you can see front and rear is pointing to -1. Now when you want to insert the element, increment rear by 1 so that rear will point to 0 and insert the element. Okay, then you are defining a queue of maximum size. Now I have defined maximum size of queue as 3. So let us go for the insert and overflow in the circular queue. So what we are going to do is, this is the initial condition when front and rear both will be pointing to -1. So when front and rear both are pointing to -1, or if front is equal to -1, what we need to do is, we need to increment front by 1 so that front will point to 0 now. Okay, that is the first step you need to do in the circular queue. Then if I want to insert something, then increment rear by 1 so that rear will point to 0th position and insert the element. Okay, and if I want to insert one more element, I will increment rear by 1 so that rear will point to -1 and insert the element. Now if you want to insert one more element, rear will be pointing to next element, insert the element over to this position. Now if you delete the element, delete from front element, this space will be empty, right? Once again, if you want to insert an element, rear should be pointing to 0th position. So in order to do that, we have this particular option. What I am going to do, instead of simply writing rear is equal to rear plus 1 while inserting, I will write rear is equal to rear plus 1 mod maximum size. So what will happen is, when you reach to this position, rear is pointing to this position, after that I want to go to 0th position, right? So what will happen is 2 plus 1 3 mod 3 is nothing but 0. So rare will point to 0. So in that case, this is important, right? That is why when we are doing increment option in circular queue, we need to follow this particular option. Now how can I insert the next element? Insert 10, insert 20, increment rare using this, and insert 20, insert 30, increment rare using this, and insert 30 over to this. Now when you reach to this condition, now if you try to insert one more element, it should display Q is overflow, right? So now front is 0, rare is max minus 1. In this particular case, we can tell that Q is overflow. When front is 0 and rare is pointing to maximum minus 1th position, we can conclude that Q is overflow. Now how can we go for deletion in circular queue and underflow condition in the circular queue? Let us take the same example whatever we have done in the previous slide. Here rare is pointing to 2 and front is pointing to 0. Now I want to delete the element. Which element will be deleted first? 10 will be deleted because 10 was inserted initially. So 10 will be deleted first. So when you delete, how can we delete 10? We can delete 10 using this thing. Front should be incremented by 1, and after deleting the element, front should be incremented by 1 so that it will point into the next particular position. So for that, in the same way whatever we have done here I have used rare is equal to rare plus 1 mod max. In the same way here I am going to use front is equal to front plus 1 mod max. So what will happen when we delete 10, 0 plus 1 mod 3, that is nothing but you will get it as 1. So it will point to front is now pointing to 1. Once again, if you want to delete 20, you have to use the same thing. So what will happen after deleting 20? Front is equal to 2 now, right? So 1 plus 1, 2 mod max 3. So 2 mod 3, that is nothing but 2, right? So that is front. Now once again, if you delete 30, front will be pointing to, front will be, when you delete 30, what will happen is, when you delete 30, this front will point to 0 now, right? Because when you do this, 2 plus 1, 3, mod 3 is nothing but 0. So front will be pointing to 0. So when front and rear both is equal, both are pointing to the same position, that means it is an empty queue. When you are deleting 30, in that position you will get front and rear both will be pointing to same pointer, right? So by that time you need to conclude that it is an empty queue, and when it is an empty queue you need to make it as an initial condition, that is if front and rear both are equal, then make front is equal to rear is equal to minus 1. Now front is equal to rear, so make front and rear is equal to minus 1, just like this. Okay, this is how delete and underflow works in circular queue. Now what are the special cases in the insertion and deletion in the circular queue? So when you have the circular queue like this, if there is only one element in the queue, front and rear both are pointing to the same position. Now if I try to insert, what will happen? I will increment rear by 1. So R is equal to 2 plus 1, 3, mod 3 is 0. So rear will point to next particular element. So rear is pointing to 0 and you are going to insert the element now, right? Now once again, if I want to insert 50, what will happen? Rear is equal to rear plus 1, that is 0 plus 1 mod 3 is nothing but 1. So rear is pointing to 1 now, and insert the element 50 over to 1, right? Now what happened, if you see this particular case, Q is full, right? We have all the elements filled. Now when Q is full, that is when friend is equal to rare plus 1, in that case also we have to conclude that Q is full. When friend is equal to rare plus 1, by that time also we have to conclude that Q is full. So this is a special case in the circular queue. Now how can we display the circular queue? If f is equal to -1, then display Q is empty, the initial condition, right? Otherwise, if whatever is there, that you need to display. Otherwise, display from Q of f to Q of r. So I is equal to friend till I is equal to rare. You are going to do I is equal to I plus 1 mod max. This is very important in circular queue. In the normal queue, we just increment I value by 1 using I plus plus. But here we have to use the mod max function in order to connect it back to the previous position and display all the elements whatever is remaining. So I hope this session is clear. So let us meet in the next session.